What up, what up, what up? What's good, everybody? All right, I know it's Friday. I don't normally go live at this time, but we did a seven-figure workshop earlier today, and it was about 90 minutes. And I gotta be honest, even though we covered over all the information, I feel like there was rounded up too. So I'm like, let me go live again and let's talk about some aspects of the business that I think a lot of people are struggling with, and just a few tweaks that you can make to take your business to the next level. Hold up, let me see. Can y'all see me? Okay. All right. If my connection is bad, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? All right. We got Chicago in the building. Beautiful. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is how to do deals on demand. And I have a presentation for you, okay? And, I don't charge anything for this. So I'm not asking for money. But what I do ask is if there's anybody who you think can benefit from this, tag them in this joint. And we're going to be talking about how to scale your business to six figures with predictability. Okay, so what we talked about in our webinar earlier today was the skill sets that you needed in order to get to seven figures. But let's talk about just the foundation. Before we could get to seven figures, we need to make six figures predictable, right? And how do we do that? By the way, before we get into this, we're going to go into a quick intro. Comment your city and your state that you're in. That way we can network. I'm only going to be live for a few minutes. We're going to blitz through this presentation, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end. And yeah, let's engage. I don't get to do this too often. All right, so let's run this intro and I'll see y'all after this. Let's get it.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. I did. They hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the school, baby, tell the facts. Don't be shy.
Outside, very heavy. Only way you can be outside and inside at the same time is if you're running your business from inside, baby. We still out here in the trenches while they sitting on their benches. All right, y'all. So, man, we got some people on a Friday. What are y'all doing on Friday? Are y'all just scrolling through social media trying to get some value? What y'all got going on? Or are y'all advancing y'all's businesses, investing in your futures? What you got going on? All right, what we're about to do right now, y'all, I am going to share my screen and we're going to go over the formula on how to build a six-figure business with predictability. Okay, ask your questions in the comments section, engage with me. We're live. Let's get to it. All right, so here's a question for you. How would you like to wholesale multiple closed and funded deals every single month on demand with predictability out the gate like a boss? This is what I call accelerated wholesaling. And before we get into the actual strategy, I take a quote from Dr. Stephen Covey. And he said, we no longer live in a society where the big fish eats the small fish. We live in a society where the fast fish eats the slow fish. And basically what that means, y'all, is, you no longer have to be the richest person in the room to win. You no longer have to have the biggest influence. You no longer have to have the biggest brand in order to win. You just need to be fast. You just need to be urgent. You need to be quick about learning. You need to be quick about implementation. You need to be quick about reiteration and refining the process and getting to the next level. Why do I I bring that up? Are we talking about Stephen Covey right now, and how speed trumps size? Because for most wholesalers, right, their operation is incredibly slow, and because it's slow, it's dying inherently, because this is, by nature, it's a fast strategy. So because it's slow, they end up being stressed out because they're putting money into their business, but they're not seeing an ROI. Now, by the way, little side nugget for those of you that are taking notes is the typical cash conversion cycle for a wholesaling business is about 90 days. Now, what we mean by that is if you invest money into your business and begin working your business on January 1st, 2024, then we shouldn't be expecting to see any money, right? Cash conversion cycle, because the first contracting, positioning, and then the next 60 to 90 days, you're clearing title, closing deals, all that fun stuff. So if your business is operating without speed, you are by 1,000 missed deals, right? If y'all know what I'm talking about, put a 6-figure in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. All right, so what most wholesalers see is what we refer to as the seesaw effect. And this is where you generate a heavy marketing campaign and they're super excited about it. Then they generate loads of leads and they're super enthusiastic about it. And then guess what? Fear sets in because they're like, yo, I need to sell all of these deals. So basically they focus on disposition and sell all of those deals, and they make a lot. And the reason why is because they have no more contracts to sell, and the process starts all over in a perpetual cycle. We call this the seesaw effect. I see it all the time in businesses. And by the way, y'all, just know when I'm speaking passionately about this, I am not knocking or speaking disrespectfully. I'm stating facts, right? This is a major epidemic, pandemic in our industry, this seesaw effect. And people are not talking about this, and I see it all the time. So we're going to solve for how we avoid the seesaw effect, where we can start generating business with predictability, right? But for most wholesalers, they end up creating a self-imposed rat race for themselves in a business that they created to exit the rat race. So while money may be coming in, and sometimes a lot of money, the business is simply going up and down as opposed to progressing and moving forward. Only wholesalers with the predictable system for attracting motivated sellers can truly say, I run an accelerated wholesaling model. Now, before we move forward, what do I mean by accelerated wholesaling? Accelerated wholesaling, the way we define it, is this is when all the technical aspects of your wholesaling business are being run without you and better because of it. Okay, that's called accelerated wholesaling. Now, those individuals, these are the highest income earners in the game. Okay. By the way, quick little intro. This is, I need to update this picture because this was me before I started growing facial hair. But those of you that don't know me, my name is Aaron Bevins, and I have a predictable system to generate multiple closed and funded deals a month on demand with predictability. I started wholesaling real estate in 2017, and at the time I was broke, and I had just a whole bunch of bad life experiences that was holding me back, and I was so committed to self-development and grow whatever it took to succeed. And I stumbled across wholesaling real estate, did my first deal in 2017, and it was in fourth quarter. It was, and even though up till now that's the smallest deal I've ever done, it's arguably the most important deal that I've ever done because it got me, it was like a shark smelling blood for the first time. It was a proof of concept that this thing that I've been studying and researching and daydreaming about is actually real. It produced results for me. So from there in 2018, I really took this business head on and generated multiple six figures in my first full year in 2018, and then it's been up since then. Been coaching people how to do this. Now, this system that I have, right, is one of the biggest mistakes that most wholesalers are making when it comes to closing deals consistently. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is the two things that multiple six-figure and seven-figure wholesalers have that the strugglers just don't have. All right. And then we're going to talk about the simple force generating contracts and deals and how you can put this to work starting right now. That's right. We're giving away the sauce right now, baby. All right. We about to give away the sauce right now, baby. Replay, or if you're watching this live, put some fire emojis, tag somebody who needs to be here with this heavy energy right now, because we're giving away the sauce right now for free. All right. Screenshot this if you for later, but this is what we're about to go over right now. Let's get into it. Now, this system that I've used and shared with and around many other successful wholesalers in this business. All right, this is the same system that helped me go from $0 to $500,000 in my first full year. It's the same system that Yolanda Brockington used to go from homeless to where she is now as a boss running the DMV. It's the same system that Paul Logston used to go from, sales agent with no future in a company to now he's building communities and having massive impact. Bryson Duvall, we call him the St. Louis Don. Joseph Frangos, I mean, it's the same system that he used. Michael Lane and Jerry Pearson, Jamie Duncan, Tony Romero, Juan Bustos, Sam Hopkins, Usama, you know what I mean, Rio, Andre. These are all individuals who have utilized this system to take their businesses and their lives to the next level. Now, what we're about to talk about, yes, it's wholesaling real estate, but how you know it's the real deal is because these are fundamental principles that you can use in any business. But yeah, I've had the privilege, y'all, to work with some incredible people throughout the years and just be a part of their journeys, and I'm grateful for them. They've had as much of an impact on me over the years as I've had on them, if not even more, to be honest. I feel like I've learned more from everybody. I got to give some highlights to some of the people I've had the opportunity to work with and around. This is Michael Lane and Jerry Pearson. They did over $300,000 in their first year, and they became partners and immediately took action. And they had never hit six figures before wholesaling. And within just a few months, they were at six figures. And in their first year, they did multiple six figures. And you see this trophy that they're holding in their hand. This is called the Superhuman of the Year Award. And at the first annual Superhuman Growth Gala, Michael Lane and Jerry Pearson had generated the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. And not only that, they were actually leaders of the community. So, they won that award and they were ecstatic about it. We have a video of them hyped up about it. I love it. I love watching that video. But they're now building a team. They're leading a community. I don't even think that they're wholesaling real estate anymore. Now they have a completely different model, and they're just doing absolutely incredible things. So shout out to my brothers, Michael Lane and Jerry Pearson. I got to shout out my guy, Sam Hopkins, right? Sam Hopkins hit his first six-figure month at the age of 22, all right? And by the time I had built this presentation out, he was already 23. He's building an absolutely incredible team, and he's using his business profits to invest in multifamily properties. He's building a portfolio. He's in his 20s. He's already a multi-seven-figure earner. And for the longest time, well, for about a year and a half, he held the record as the first person to do seven figures in their first year. He did 1.1 million in his first 12 months, and Ryan Wilkerson just destroyed his record at $1.3 million, Poor Sam. Poor Sam. No, but Sam is my brother. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's in the Virginia area. Connect with him. Sam Hopkins. He's very, very active and doing lots of deals, and he's a leader in the community now. Tony Romero. I call him Young Mark Cuban, and he hit $500,000 in his first year before he turned 21, and now he's mentoring other people. Not just two. I have two here, but it's multiple other incredible story. Now, guys, I'm not taking credit for what any of these guys are doing. Them systems and principles that help to take the business to the next level with really fast. All right. So it's a predictable deal closing system. So what does the system look like? Number one, we have to target motivated sellers that are ready to sell. So I know that sounds like, duh, Aaron, of course we're starting there. Well, it's not, yeah, just we're starting there, because it's not, when you're spending money, you want to make sure that you're spending money on the leads or the data that have the highest propensity to yield a deal. It's not a yeah, duh, whatever sort of situation. So it sounds basic, but there's a science to this. And then this system, it can work with a flexible budget. We have guys like Jamie Duncan. I had just mentioned him earlier. I don't know if he's watching this. Shout out to him if he is. But Jamie Duncan, when he started in the program, and I have his permission to share this story, by the way. When Jamie started, and I kid you not, tag Jamie Duncan, y'all, so that y'all know that it's not cap that I'm talking about. Watch this, bro. Jamie Duncan had negative 10 cents in his bank account, and within what 6 to 7 weeks, 8 weeks max, he was closing and funding his first $10,000 deal. Now I know it's just a $10,000 deal. To some of you that might be chump change, but for Jamie at that time, you may as well have told him that the world was his. You know what I mean? He had the world in his hand, because his daughter was about to be born, and he was just laid off of his job. So the point is, when I say flexible budget, I mean if your budget is 0, or if your budget is 5K a month, this predictable deal closing system works for, okay? And it's based on tried and tested results. All right, we got Indianapolis in the building, DFW in the building. What up, what up, what up? Even if you already put your market in the comment section, plug it again, y'all, because we have new people that are coming in. We have people on the replay that are going to be plugging in at different times. The deal, we can make something happen. So now in wholesaling real estate, I'm sure you've noticed that people fall into one of two categories. They're either number one, the strugglers. What I mean by strugglers, these are people who they make some money sometimes, but no money most of the time, or who spend way too much money, spend way too much time making far too little money. And by the way, y'all, this is the bottom 90%. And I know this sounds, man, I know how it sounds. It might sound like I'm being bougie or being that's fam. Like this is the real, like y'all think that there's competition with amongst wholesalers? Because no, you just have a bunch of competitive people calling themselves wholesalers, but the vast majority of people fall in the bottom 90%, which is these people right here. Screenshot this, send this to somebody who it applies to. No, I'm just playing, don't do that. All right, but then you have category number 2. These are the top 10%. Okay, these are the people who are absolutely crushing it. They're making more and more money. They're building wealth, and they're spending less time doing it. Now, I'm not trying to sell you some pipe dream and say that, you're going to retire in Fiji after 2 years of wholesaling real estate, but you definitely have a higher chance to do that wholesaling real estate than doing most other things, especially if you know how to manage your money correctly. Okay? Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, these are the rainmakers. All right. And the rainmakers are the ones you see all over social media. They only make up a small percentage. You know what I mean? And why is that? Well, it's because people don't know about the things that you and I are about to talk about right now in the next few minutes. Okay, because we're about to give away the sauce, and we're gonna do some Q&A. For the real ones out here, right? But I don't want you to be discouraged whenever I say that only the top 10% are the rainmakers who are absolutely crushing it, because guess what? You are in control of that. The numbers are not in control of you. You impact the numbers based on what you decide to do with this information. All right, I'm gonna stop preaching at y'all. I just get so excited about this stuff. So, what is it that allows some wholesalers to make hundreds of thousands of dollars while others make less than they could in a full-time job and they struggle to pay the rent? What makes the difference? That's what kept me up at night. And so, after talking to hundreds of wholesalers and being in this industry for years, I realized that the rainmakers have two things in their business. The strugglers don't have any of these two. Things present in your wholesaling business right now. It becomes easier and predictable to make six figures or more. And the best way I can describe this to you is with the story about how McDonald's became a behemoth $1 billion company. All right. Now I know you might be thinking, Aaron, bro, what's wholesaling real estate and making six figures, seven figures have to do with McDonald's? Watch, bro, just hear me out. I promise you, we're gonna break this thing down to a science. Watch, hear me out. Back in the 1940s, drive-in diners were the next biggest thing, and everyone was opening a drive-in diner left and right. It was like a craze that was sweeping the country. And so this is what they look like, right? You had a carport, and then you would come drive up to the carport, and then somebody would skate your food. Now, it's not the way drive-in diners are today. Back in the 1940s, the way these drive-in diners would perform is, or fulfill, is they would like serve full course meals. Like imagine like chicken fried steak, and have your waitress skating outside to the car. Like it was a very unsustainable method, and this is why they're not around today. And so here's the thing about it. There was fundamental flaws to the model. Customers that were attracted to this model were less than ideal, number one. The people that would come and hang out at these diners were the hoodlums that were skipping school and stuff. The service was incredibly slow, right? Because they had to bring the food outside while they were rollerblading. And often they were delivering the wrong orders, and there was cold food. And then there was high overhead because of the large amount of broken dishes, the large menu options. Well, that everybody was doing these drive-in diners because it was the latest fad. It was the latest craze, right? Everybody fit to it. How many people you know own successful diners today? Not at that model. That's the strugglers model. But the McDonald's, while the rest of the world was obsessing over the new fad, the McDonald brothers were obsessing wanted, which was fast, called for this. So they first focused on the step-by-step process of their operation and mastered it. Once this operation was built and perfected, then they could franchise it and eventually grow it. Brothers actually spearheaded the the niche, the industry of fast food, right? And so McDonald's is now worth $100 billion and plus, and the rest is history, right? Now, I want you to pause for a moment and because it's almost the exact opposite of what almost everybody else out there is feeding you. Today in the wholesaling space and real estate industry, we're repeating the drive-in diner mistake, and people are following the fads of the day rather than really focusing on what really matters. And basically what that is how can we give how can we produce the fastest way to give our customers what they want with predictability every single time? Have you ever asked yourself that question, wholesaling real estate? Like, what's the fastest way to give our customers what they want? Some wholesalers don't even know the difference between their customer and their client. So of course they wouldn't know to ask this question about how to know who their customer is, right? Most wholesalers obsess and go nuts over what list to pull, what marketing channels to hit, right? In reality, all they're doing is creating a rat race for themselves that have killed off many businesses just like us, right? Before here for a little while and then it died off. So those were two of the things that separated McDonald's from every other drive-in fad. You see it right here? Separated McDonald's from every other drive-in fad. Now I hope y'all letting this sink in. By the way, y'all, I'm not, some of y'all are DMing me like, how much is your mentorship? Y'all, I'm not sharing this to pitch y'all on anything right now. So that by the time you do get on a strategy session with me, you already have money. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to this and utilize this because these are the things that are going to help you take your business to six figures, multi six figures, and seven figures where you need somebody like me in your corner to help you scale it to the next level. What's up, Roger? All right. Louis Morales said we still have those drive-in diners. All right, so look, these are the two things that separated McDonald's from every other drive-in. Systems. There's a process and a system for how they do every single task that has to get accomplished between the customer swiping their card and the customer being satisfied. And it must happen the same way every single time, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again without breaking. And if you're really good, you can make it so that 17-year-old kids who have never worked a job before can come in and work the system in days. That's called systems. The second thing that they had on why they grew to being such a behemoth company is leadership. And leadership starts at the top. So if you want to know if somebody is a good leader, it's not about how well they talk and it's not about how much they flex. It's a matter of looking at their organization, right? Stuff, right? And Ray Kroc was an absolutely incredible dynamic leader. So we're going to talk about some of these items right now and really break this down on how we can operate this in the wholesaling the wholesaling niche, right? So what's the point? If you don't have a system or leadership in your business, then you do not have a business at all. Man, I'm making some statements on here. Let's define this. What do I mean by system? I must answer. So those of you who are breaking this down for individuals who are just trying to get to that six-figure, multi-six-figure place, right? Yashani says, is this live? Yes, this is live right now. Yashani, I'm responding to you right now. We're live. All right, so system, it's a step-by-step process for how you do any task in your business. This is not, and why is this so important? It's important because if we don't have a system in place, then it leaves that task subject to being done five different scale if you want to do volume. Okay. Yashani says the video is breaking up. Snap, my bad. Snap. Well, I apologize. Hopefully it fixes. All right. And then leadership. How do we define leadership? It's the ability to source, hire, and retain employees who work the business systems for you. Now, this is not evil. It's not wicked. You're not a slave owner. You're not a master. That's why we call it leadership and not how to be a boss, right? Being a boss sounds good whenever you're flexing on social media. But let's face it, nobody likes bosses. You know what I mean? It's like it almost feels demeaning to call somebody a boss sometimes in today's age. So it's about leadership. And that's how can you source the right people? What's the process for hiring them? And then what are we doing to retain them? And here's a little secret sauce about retaining good people, talent in your business. Shoot off any random number, but it says some significant number. Majority of people who quit jobs do not quit jobs. Interesting. The majority of people who quit their jobs, they quit because of a toxic culture. All right. And that's something. So these are the factors that multi six-figure businesses, wholesaling businesses have in common. And a lot of these things are not the stuff that you're going to see on, videos and podcasts and things like that, because, it's not the sexiest things, but these are the differentiators. So let's get down to business. I'm going to show you exactly how you can create a predictable system for closing deals in your wholesale business today. So there's only two things that matter. Number one, generating leads in your business. By the way, when I say only two things that matter, there's only two things that matter right now. If you're not at six figures or more right now, if you're at six figures, okay, great, but are you at multiple six figures? So if you're not at six or multiple six figures right now, there's only two things that really matter. Number one, generating leads in your deal. All right, these are the only two things that matter. Don't get focused with, I need to get a CRM and I need to make sure that the color and the font in my CRM is, like what? No, we need to focus on generating leads and generating offers. So if you're not two right now in your wholesaling business, I have one question for you. How many leads have come in your database in the last 7 days? How many offers? If you don't even know how many leads came in, listen, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. And that's not what this is about. It's about encouragement and empowerment. But I'm gonna need for you to step it up. Because if you don't even know how many, like, come on now. Now, okay, if you do know, right, and you know that we can be doing better, then let's make a conscious effort. But I'm telling you, this whole thing is cause and effect. You can generate way more revenue than you think that you're capable of simply by sticking to the fundamentals. Now, in most wholesaling businesses, it's super easy to get all these new shiny objects, the new fads that come and go, but the fundamentals will never change, y'all. The raw, honest truth is that generating leads and making offers are the only two things that matter. And anybody who disagrees, please tag them on this. I wish they would. Like, man, y'all got me fired up. The raw, honest truth is that generating leads and making offers are the only two things that matter, especially in the beginning. So the rainmakers, the top 10% of the wholesalers in the country, they have a predictable system for generating leads and making offers, and they know how to track these metrics daily, even obsessively. And here's why: because it works, right? It is not a complicated process, y'all. So, and by the way, when I say it's not a complicated process, what I mean is these two key metrics, right? When I say it's not complicated, I mean it's simple. There's two key metrics right now, and that's how many leads are going out daily and how many offers are going out daily. I'm sorry, how many leads are coming in daily? I'm sorry, and how many offers are going out daily. All right? These are the two key metrics that we want to be focusing on and obsessing over, because this is the pulse and the breath of your business, right? The pulse and the breath. And just like if you stopped the pulse, we would, like if we stopped the breath, we would kill life, kill the life of our business. These are what I call behaviors. A lot of people, they like to talk about KPIs, but they never talk about the IPAs. And it's like the KPIs, performance indicators. All right, but let's actually obsess over the performance. Let's go straight to the performance. So the IPAs are the levers that we can be in the business. These two things and track them, then we can literally begin producing our contracts, closings, and ultimately our. We can literally begin predicting our contracts, predicting our closings, and ultimately we can begin predicting our revenue. Now I already know is some people who are watching this right now, and they're gonna be like, Aaron's trying to sell us something. Like, I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm not gonna sell you anything on this, y'all. Like, I'm sharing this because I legitimately, I want to help, and I see that there's so many people who are struggling in business unnecessarily because they're overcomplicating it. The more we win, the more we all win. We need less strugglers and we need more winners. Most people feel like they're banging their head against their laptops. And the reason why is they're confused because they have so many options about this generation source that is death by information, and they don't know what to do and where to start, and everything is so convoluted. And so as this is how a healthy wholesaling business is supposed to operate. All right. All right. When you have a predictable amount of spending, it's called a budget. So we have to set a budget. All right. And then that budget should lead to a predictable amount of leads. That amount of leads should lead to a predictable amount of offers. That predictable offers should lead to a predictable amount of contracts, closings, and essentially a predictable amount of revenue. Doesn't that sound amazing? Imagine if you knew for every dollar I spend in my business, it will yield on the back end $5. And I know that some people are here are watching this right now, and you're like, this man is capping. This man is trying to fool the masses. I'm not kidding. In fact, in our community, we have multiple people who are producing 8 and 10x plus ROIs on their operational expenses, not even just on ad spend, but operationally, they're doing 10x, even higher than that on their ad spend. It's absolutely incredible, but it's when you're running your business with predictability. What's up, Kevin? How are you, bro? Yes, Shani, I'm going to answer your questions right now. What's up, Marlon? Good to see you guys. So, how do we start? First of all, we're on the people in your area who are most likely willing to sell their property for much less than retail value. Okay? Sounds basic, but let's get in this. We do this by, number one, strategically choosing our geographic farm. And we're going to basically create a laser focus. And this is the easy stuff that most people learn first, okay? But don't take it for granted. Please remember, it's also the first step. That means it's foundational. This is the beginning. So if we mess this part up, we can't build a predictable business. So our strategies here are of the utmost importance. I'm so tired of people saying that, you know, any list will work as long as you work the list. And it's like, no, that's not true. If you pulled random data of a bunch of phone numbers of people in Egypt and started calling them to wholesale their houses in America, the list wouldn't work. So no, that's not true. Any list will work as long as you work the list. No, it's the right list with the right strategy will yield maximum results. All right. So once we've accomplished this first step, then funnel. All right. Now, what's that marketing funnel? Man, listen, I'm not biased. Door knocking. It could be a cold calling. It could be ringless voicemails. It could be virtual assistant. It could be appointment setters calling. It could be door knocking. Did I say that already? It could be PPC leads. It could be Google ad leads. It could be IG leads. It could be YouTube leads. It could be billboards. It could be radio. It could be SEO. It could be TV. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. The point is, we're going to take our data and we're going to plug it into the marketing. All right. I know a lot of you guys are saying that I'm breaking up. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's my I don't know if it's my internet, but I'm sorry about that. But in the beginning, most rainmaker wholesalers use aggressive outbound marketing strategies, and they ensure that these lists are hit over and over again to extract the juice from the fruit. You want every lead you can possibly get from those lists that you have. This is fundamental. Now, the result of executing this first step correctly is you're going to have a predictable lead flow coming in daily. All right. So if you're taking notes, right, that's the, and right now, you want to get to, if you're not already here, is you want to be minimum. Okay. Why is that? I don't know. I don't ask me. Sellers looking at the hood under the hood, that when your business tends to start to get traction is between the 2 to 5 lead a day coming in. Now, what determines if you're 2 lead a day and a 5 lead a day person? Depends on the sources are inherently more motivated because of the type of lead they are. We're not going to get into that, but the fact of the matter is, your first benchmark is minimum. When you start to have that Frankenstein moment where you're like, it's alive, it's alive. All right, for what I earlier called accelerated wholesaling. Okay, we've started lead flow. Now that's the ability to, in reference to accelerated wholesaling, right? To predictably generate 6 figures or more in your wholesaling business in a year or less, right? We call that accelerated wholesaling. Now, to execute this predictable client system correctly, you have to get these 4 things in alignment. Now, reference. All right, you got to get these 4 things in alignment. I call this cracking the code. Okay. All right, these 4 things are: number 1, you need to get your message right, and that's your script. And I know you're going to script, and they're so good, and that's totally fine if you want to be the best closer. But if you want to duplicate it, if you want a system that's duplicatable and and where you can grow exponentially, you're going to have a script, because this leads. Some people are spending, they think they need to spend more money to generate leads. They could keep their same ad spend and increase the quality of their messaging and almost double in their lead generation just by improving their messaging. But they don't want to pay the time or put in the time to do it, right? I'm giving you the sauce. Their offer presentation. What do I mean by offer presentation? Again, this is something so many people don't talk about. Your offer presentation, it's not just the underwriting and getting the offer. I understand the ARV. No, that's not what I mean. I mean the offer presentation. As salespeople, our job is to insert ourselves as the bridge between the person's a stressful situation and where they want to be, right? Are we doing that in our offer presentation, right? This is so important. All right. And then number 3 is the follow-up sequence. The fortunes in the follow-up times minimum, you're losing out on 80% of the business that's already in your database. And those are actual numbers that I have seen in many touch points in wholesalers' businesses. I know that's a big statement, but it's facts. Now, this is the same code that my man Paul Logston used to hit $100,000 in less than 12 months, right? This is back in 2020, and, and the experience. Paul came into the community, became a leader. Now he's an influencer, and now he's helping other people hit 6 figures. And he has an absolutely incredible program, and he's even helping people, build their buyers list and things like that in the community. Shout out to Paul. Tag Paul Luxton, man, because Paul utilized Bryson Duval. This is somebody I got to get Bryson in the community, man. Bryson, 25 years old when I think he was 23, 24 when we first met. But yeah, he hit 6 figures in less than a year, and he just landed. I wrote this. I made this post a little while back. So that this was years ago actually that he hit his first 6-figure month. But I remember when he was working a full-time job, and I began mentoring with Bryson. His stomach. Now he's a 7-figure earner. He's well known in the St. Louis market and in the community at large, and we call him the St. Louis Don. Bryson Duval. I love my guy. Shout out to my guy Bryson. Yolanda, this is one of my favorite stories. From homeless to rehabbing her own custom house. And we were, in the community, we were all crying almost whenever, we saw this glow up from Yolanda. Absolutely incredible. She's got 3 sons. She's very involved in their lives. And she owns multi-units, and she's building a absolutely incredible. And she applied the same system in her life. Okay. Now, again, you have to get the right system in place to do it the right way and get these type of results. Now, did you need 4 digits that they're, ain't that crazy? If you only have 4 digits, you can make 10,000 combinations. So what's my point? You could try to crack the code on your own, and who knows, maybe in a year for how to successfully wholesale real estate with predictability. Maybe or maybe 2 do it the easy way. That's what I call the smart way. And you could just get the code to unlock it and get the results in your business immediately. So by now you're probably wondering, how can I get that predictable system in my business to generate leads and do more and more deals each month? So this is for increasing your assignment fees, reducing your workload over time as you grow, attracting more high-paying customers. Who's a customer in our business? Buyers. Because right now, I am currently looking for more dream clients, y'all. I'm looking for I can work with and do incredible things with, because what I find is that on the screen have become family to me. And like, we've cried together, we work together, and I would love to work with you in a marketing strategy session if you meet the criteria below. If you want more red hot leads who are ready to buy now and don't penny pinch and delay decision making, to decide on the call and staying in that awkward limbo state. If and and this is for people who want to dramatically increase their assignment fees and build a predictable revenue generating business. So we're going to be focused on a specific and custom strategy to solve the two biggest, like at the predictable, a predictable lead generation program for you, and then creating a predictable conversion process for you. 30 minutes, you'll be speaking with me personally, and I'm going to be helping you identify what you've already, um, not only what you already have, but I'm going to be helping you put together a strategy to help you grow your business without increasing how much time you're spending in your business. All right. And I know that might sound too good a place we can do this. So who's this for? This is for wholesalers who are actively in business and ready to do deals now. People who are absolutely starving for self-improvement and growth. People who know they can crush it wholesaling and believe they can dominate their marketplace and make a high six-figure, even seven-figure income. And this is for people who truly love helping others and value results over everything else. And finally, this is for people who understand that they need to have some skin in the game and understand that they need to invest money in order to take their business to the next level. Period. This is not for anyone who's indecisive about whether or not wholesaling works. If you're not sure if whether or not this works, I would recommend continue consuming free content. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why it's here, right? For you to court it and date it and flirt with the idea and see if it even makes sense for you. But once you have that feeling inside you where it's like, I feel like I'm being called, right? And you believe, right? That's when this might be a great this is not for people who make excuses or complain. I don't like being around people like that, to be honest. And it's one thing to have a bad day. It's another thing to have a bad life, bro. Like what? Like we're alive. What are you talking about? So this is not for those kind of people. You know, you can rule yourself out if that's even if that's something that you're working on. Individuals who are stuck in information gathering mode and are not prepared to take action repeatedly and get results, right? Um, you know, there is a certain phase where it's appropriate for you to be there, but if you're staying there, then this might not be for you. This is not for those who are committed. I'm sorry, this is not for those who are not committed to growing their business by six figures minimum each year. And why do I say that? I say that because, you know, it's very time intensive for me to be spending helping you build your business out and creating systems and communities to help you build your business. So, you know, the juice is just not worth the squeeze if we're talking about making an additional 5K a month. So if that's a great life, and I'm sure your family loves you, but this is not for you, right? This is for individuals who are looking to increase bottom line revenue, not just top line revenue, by six figures, multiple six figures a year, steadily. And this is not for individuals who shy away from accountability and are overly sensitive to honest, loving feedback. One of the things I can promise you is that I'm always going to have a good attitude, even if I don't feel good. I can promise you that. I'll always have a good attitude whenever I talk to you. However, I do reserve the right as your coach to call you out if you're not doing the things that you said that you would. And I appreciate when you do the same for me. So that's just a part of our culture. So knowing if we're a good fit is super crucial to me because I like to get my clients results, y'all. I have a reputation in this business. And for me, what that means is getting my clients and mentees an ROI as soon as possible. And the truth is, there's some people I can't help. And if that's the case, I'll be 100% upfront with you and recommend someone else or perhaps some sort of alternative because I'm only looking for people who are a good fit and who I'm certain I can actually, because I definitely don't want you to be ambushed in any way. So the first step is complete an application for our strategy session below. So what I'm about to do right now those of you who are on the replay section, I mean in the replay section, those of you who are watching this on the replay, you can DM me for a private strategy session with me for free. Okay. I'm posting it right now. Boom. All right. So it should have showed up on YouTube. It should have showed up on Twitch. It should have showed up. It should have showed. I don't think it showed up on Facebook. All right. Well, if you're interested in running one of these free strategy sessions with me, okay, then just DM me if you don't see it in the comment section, right? But what's the purpose of this call? It's to determine that I can help you and that I'm the best qualified to help you generate those results. And two, that you required to generate those results working alongside me. So once you complete the application, it's right there in the comment section, y'all. You'll be able to book a call with me. It's free, all right? And I'm only going to be these calls for a certain amount of time, y'all. And that's not some like fear of ultimately I cannot afford to be running these calls, but I am passionate about it, and I am bent on the vision of creating $100 million boardroom. So while I'm still running these calls and I'm doing them for free, definitely take advantage, because get on a call with me. That's when we'll really get to work together. We'll build out a custom strategy for you and your business based on your goals, predictability. And at the end of the call, there's going to be one or two outcomes. Send to you an invitation to be one of my dream clients, or number two, it's not a good fit, and that's totally okay. And there's not going to be any hard feelings or obligations or anything like that, okay? Either way, you're going to receive an insanely beneficial strategy session. You're going to get clarity on your next steps to take in your business, and you're going to be able to, I promise you, you'll feel better after hopping on a strategy session with me. So with that being said, this may be the strategy sessions, and it may even lead to a breakthrough for you if you are a good fit. So go ahead and complete your strategy session now. Comment section, whatever platform you're on, then you can go ahead and DM me on, or yeah, just personally send you a link to book a free strategy session with me so that we can start taking your business to the next level. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible rest of the weekend. But before I wrap up, I do have to give this one last warning. Session application for me or with me. I have hundreds of people messaging me daily. So time is a factor, and this window of opportunity will not be open for long at all, y'all. So because of the intense amount of time that I have to spend on each strategy session, and I can only work with those that I know for a certainty that I can help. All right. So I want to make sure that we're using our time wisely. So out of every 100 people that apply, I can generally those seats are already spoken for and filled up. So I'm looking to fill available slots as quickly as possible right now. That said, please understand this window of opportunity won't be open long. And what I found is that those who have the ability to make decisions quickly and act quickly are the most likely to get results. They're the most likely to be one of my dream clients, become one of my friends. We end up crushing business and life together, and we become a part of each other's lives, for years to come. All right. So the section, if you can't send me if you want to book a strategy call, and we will. If you have any questions, Put it in the conscience. You want to know how you know, or at least for me, how I know that I love something, or how I know that I have a passion for wholesaling real estate. No. I'm talking to the camera. But how I know that I really have a passion for this is because it's been an incredibly busy day, even in my moments of like not busy, was still busy. And I'm giving a presentation about some of the basics and fundamentals in the wholesaling business and how to take this business to 6 figures. Content with y'all as I was just learning the stuff. You know what I mean? So it's an absolutely incredible business. If you're wondering if now is the right time for you to get into wholesaling real estate, I'm telling you, it absolutely is. The pent up demising interest rates, they're saying that the feeding frenzy we're going to see in real estate. And by the way, this is the National Associate. I'm sorry, this is the chief economic forecaster of the United stabilize. We're going to see the biggest real estate feeding frenzy that the Western civilization has ever seen. And it's going to be a perfect storm of access to a bunch of capital and pent up demand for an entire generation of people, namely the millennials and young millennials, who need houses and are buying new houses. And there's not enough. There's literally not enough houses for where these millennials want to live. To do it, don't just take my word for it. With that said, y'all, much love to you guys. DM me and hopefully me and you get an opportunity to work, do some business, make some money. Until next time, don't slap nobody today. Love my family.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. They hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the scoop, baby, tell the facts. Don't be shy.